Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. We have some breaking news here out of the AP. Trump says U.S. strike on vessel in Caribbean target Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang killed 11. So we got some activity going on. We've moved from Iran. Now we're over in the Caribbean near Venezuela. President Donald Trump said Tuesday the U.S. has carried out a strike in the southern Caribbean against a drug-carrying vessel that departed from Venezuela and was operated by the Tren de Aragua gang. The president said in a social media posting that 11 people were killed in the rare U.S. military operations in the Americas, a dramatic escalation in the Republican administration effort to stem the flow of narcotics from Latin America. Trump also posted a short video clip of a small vessel appearing to explode in flames, and we'll show a little bit of that. And we'll play this clip from the president over here on Twitter from Insight Radar.
When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago. And our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over.
All right, so you get the point here, and Trump isn't messing around. It should be obvious now to the world, as it is to the Democrats and the left, that Donald Trump is doing what he says he's going to do. Now, he's not accomplished every single promise that he's mentioned, but he has done a lot, is doing a lot, and we really needed a president that was this capable, as many presidents pretty much just went along to get along, it seems like now, and we should have a very distinctive, modus operandi now of who Donald Trump is. He is someone who says what he's going to do, and he does it. And it's challenging for many of these on the left and the Democrats because people, for the most part, have become so accustomed to a politician saying something and then nothing really happening. So they don't always take what these individuals say seriously. Now they'll exaggerate and sensationalize what Trump says. But the fact is that he is saying what he's going to do, and he's doing it. Earlier this morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua narco-terrorists in the SOUTHCOM area of responsibility. The TDA is a designated foreign terrorist organization operating under the control of Nicolás Maduro, responsible for mass murder, drug trafficking, additional trafficking, and acts of violence and terror across the United States. So he has actually been down in the Caribbean area and around Venezuela. Let me see if I can pull up some images here. I did, but I actually have this on here. As you can see, there's a strike group down there along with some aircraft. Let me pull that up as well. So we've got aircraft, we got submarines. There's all kinds of stuff going on down there in Venezuela right now, ladies and gentlemen. And this is very similar to the actions that we saw against Iran. Now, these are, what they call asymmetrical or kinetic strikes. And, so they're going to keep it within the framework of it. Now, we're going to play a little bit of the video. I'm not going to play the whole thing because, it is on YouTube. So it shows these guys here. These are supposed to be the Tren de Aragua guys going out. And then they start cruising along. And then about 19 seconds is when they get hit by a missile of some sort, apparently. And there they get struck. And so there's additional videos there for you. And then, of course, I wanted to show you guys the strike group. And it says here from Ian that Lake Erie joins the growing U.S. naval presence in the Caribbean, which now includes at least 7 other ships. The SOUTHCOM fleet represents approximately 12% of the total U.S. Navy ships currently deployed. So we see the Samson here right outside of Panama, and then the Lake Erie right next to Panama. And, of course, they have Venezuela almost completely, totally surrounded. And of course, you have aircraft and other military vehicles in operation, as it were. So Trump isn't a mess around. This is a very huge show of presence from the United States down in this area. This is very rare to see this level of presence on a third world country. And of course, we've been seeing a lot out of that. So if you guys go over to Preston Stewart, he's a former military U.S. Army guy who studied international relations and terrorism. He's got a lot of great content. He's been covering this now for the last 6 days. So it's 4 days here, and then it goes back to Venezuela deploys forces to face U.S., and he has a really interesting video of the Venezuelans getting ready, and they're anticipating maybe even getting some Shahed drones from Russia or other places. However, I'm not anticipating that we're going to see any sort of major conflict between the United States and Venezuela. I really don't see that happening at all. Of course, they're going to go after the drug cartels. They're going to go after Tren de Aragua. Here you see another of the images of the boats. And so these guys are out there right now. And as you can see here, the U.S. naval buildup near Venezuela. And so as I showed you in the original image over here, that there is a pretty significant presence of U.S. Navy in this region. And this is another reason why it was important that we get a handle on the Panama Canal, because these ships can go through the canal. So obviously, China having the two little areas they had on either side of Panama, that allowed them to see when the Americans were doing what they were doing. So this was a lot of intel gathering by the Chinese. So all this starts to play out. You start to see how this all plays out now with Donald Trump, and why they make the choices that they do, why we saw like Pete Hegseth and even J.D. Vance down in Panama. That's a very, very critical area for the United States. And, this area of Panama, Central America, is where vehicles are going to travel. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back to the image here, between the Atlantic and the Pacific. And so it's vital. But let me know down in the comments what your thoughts and opinions are on what Donald Trump is doing, because this is something that I've not seen a lot in the media, which I find very fascinating. Now, they are, in a way, there is a is it 50 million? Or, yeah, I think it's a $50 million, not bounty, but information on Maduro. So they're trying to kind of topple his government, because as Trump was saying here, they consider that he is part of the narco-terrorism that's going on down there in Venezuela. And you can see here across the United States and Western Hemisphere, he's concerned about the drugs. The strike occurred while the terrorists were at sea in international waters, transporting illegal narcotics, heading to the United States. The strike resulted in 11 terrorists killed in action. No U.S. forces were harmed in the strike. Please let this serve as notice to anybody even thinking about bringing drugs in the United States of America. Beware. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This is very extraordinary. It's very extraordinary. It's sending a very clear message that Donald Trump is not messing around with this. He's not going to be playing these games with the narcos, or with any of the people that dealing in narcotics coming into the United States, illegal drugs. He's not messing around. Very, very clear message. But you guys, like I said, if you want to go by, check out Preston Stewart. You could even stop by and check out AI Telly. But keep in mind, it is all AI, so it's all computer-generated stuff. It's good information. It's pretty solid. It's more speculative information, like if the United States were to go to war with Venezuela, what sort of capabilities do each side have? And, of course, Venezuela is a third-world country. It's not going to have anything remotely close to what the United States has. But you never want to underestimate your enemy, ever. You never underestimate your enemy, even if they're a small country like Venezuela. You can't take anything for granted. You can't just think that you have the superior position. You just have to be in the superior position. But I welcome your thoughts and comments down in the public section. What do you think is going to happen down in Venezuela now that we have the U.S. has now gone after this vessel? Is this going to escalate things? Is it going to de-escalate? Is it going to send a clear message to the drug dealers out there that, hey, Donald Trump is not messing around? The Democrats have certainly learned very much that Donald Trump is not messing around. And I think people should see that he's not. And, we're 9 months into this year already, and Donald Trump has done tremendous work. I would have to argue that he has done more in the last 9 months than I've seen presidents do in their terms for years, maybe decades. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome your thoughts and comments down in the comment section. Thank you so much for you guys. for your continued support. BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. Below this video, of course, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include X, so you guys can follow me there. And, of course, my affiliate marketing links. You guys know how those work. It does help out the channel, but, of course, your likes, your shares, and your comments help out just as much, and I appreciate all of it. So appearing there on the screen, that's going to be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.